Hi, and today in this film we're going to be looking at fixing a background. So the kind of image in front of us here is as shot, except we've just fixed the problems with the background. If I just come up to the edit and I hit the revert key, this will kind of bring us back to the original developed file. And as you can see, what I've got is basically a kind of a biggish group of girls, but in fact there's more people to add into this. That's why it's such a big backdrop. And I've got two backdrops, one to be stretched across the background itself, just above the head height, to allow me to minimize the kind of the amount of work in post-production I need to do. And then obviously I've got another one going across the floor, which is hiding all the kind of the props and everything else with it and things ready. And in this film, I want to show you how I would fix it, first of all, for a very quick viewing. And then I want to actually show you how I would just kind of a slightly final finish, ready as if it was going to be going to print. Obviously, all the kind of the main work we done on the raw file first, as far as the textures and everything else, is kind of the exposure. So even though I haven't gone in here and actually lightened this side of the girl's face and the leg and this kind of the dress, it would be lightened just a little bit. But we're working on basically the JPEG as shot on camera and not from the raw file. I just want to show you the truth of the image. So the first thing we're going to do, in fact, is we're just going to pick up the Lasso Tool. I haven't kind of really set it up any special. I've just got a 10 pixel feather running on here, and I've clicked on the anti-alias, and that's pretty much it, all right? And what I'm going to do is actually just draw with the Lasso Tool and just quite close to that girl's head, and then just finally finish around the image. So you can see the crawling ants here, what is going to be, what has been selected and what I want to fix. So I'm going to use just the backspace, which is going to bring up the content aware fill dialog box, or the fill dialog box I should say, and in here I'm going to choose the option for content aware. Obviously if you'd set it to background or foreground colors, 50% gray, white or black, that's what it would be doing, but in this case we want it for content aware film. If I just press OK, Photoshop is going to use its algorithm and do a pretty good job there, considering how close it was to that girl's head. Remember, one of the reasons I wanted to get this background above the heads was so I could actually minimize the amount of the post-production work I'd need to do. So the next thing will be is to come down and do exactly the same thing, but this side of the photograph. So again, getting quite close to that girl's head. Remember, all I'm doing is hitting the backspace and pressing OK, and then it's going to do the work. So that's how I work in as far as the speed is concerned. Don't worry about all these kind of marks. We're going to go and fix all these now in a minute. However, I also want to kind of show you the content aware fill, but in the kind of the drop down menu, because that will bring up a dialog box. So let's first of all make another selection along this right hand side here. Let's kind of just zoom in there. As you can see, that's what we're going to do. At the same point, in fact, we may as well go in and actually select this piece of the floor. I just press the shift key there to add that into the selection itself. Now I'm going to come up into edit, and this is where I'm going to hit the content aware fill. Now as soon as I do that, you can see it's automatically brought up a new dialog box giving me options. So the first thing is, let's kind of go in and just see what it's working on. As you see, it's working on this bottom. Now already I know that I'd usually work to the edge of the photograph with the likes of a clone stamp tool and so on, but it's done a pretty good job just with this patching in of this kind of area there. So the main reason to show you this is I've got options. I can either work just on the current layer, okay, here. That would do exactly what I just did a second ago and make the adjustments to that layer. I can either opt for the option for a new layer, or I can click on duplicate layer. So that will actually make the changes to the layer, but create a new layer as it does so. So I'm going to click on that one, I'm going to press OK, and then you can see straight away it's done its job. Right, I already know that I need to fix this floor though, yeah? So if we just look at the before and after there though, you can see what it just did. So as I said, I knew it was going to be a little bit blurred and everything else with it and things. So let's get rid of this one that we just did, yeah? Now that you know what we're going to be doing, I'm just going to quickly select that part, hit the backspace once more. That's working destructively on that one layer. I'm going to just press my S key, which is for the stamp tool. I'm going to just use the right bracket to increase the size. I'm going to press my Alt key to make the selection of where from do I want to clone, and then I basically start to paint on that same layer. Click the Alt key, start to use a different location. If you find that it's not kind of doing a 100% kind of fix, you're probably actually, your opacity is low down, actually up here and things really. So as I am though, I'm basically working on the little areas here, kind of just fixing them in, as I said. So just selecting a new layer, putting that little bit of the detail on here. There's just pretty much good there. That's great. So as I am, I'm pretty much ready for the likes of a quick viewing. As I said already, I would have done a little bit of work in the raw, and that would have been to lighten the slightly shadow areas down here, a little bit on this girl's arm as well, in fact, but nothing else. If I needed to final finish it, so in other words, I was going out to print, or I had a little bit of time and I had time to fix all the wrinkles in the background, it's at this stage then I would do it. If I needed to do a quick vision of it though, and kind of I'm ready to view straight away. But if I do want to fix those wrinkles, I'm going to treat the background now like a woman's face or an old man's face. I'm going to fix some of the wrinkles. So in this case, I'm going to pick up the patch tool, and then I'm just going to go around and select areas and start to actually drag them. So if you imagine here, I would be working on the likes of crow's feet to the side of an eye on somebody who doesn't want them, to actually kind of get rid of them. So all I'm doing is quickly just I'm only using a mouse today as well, so I'm not even using the Wacom tablet. All I would be doing is just kind of going around the image, making those simple kind of selections, and then kind of just getting rid of the wrinkles within the image, making sure that I don't really kind of get some kind of repeating pattern. This dark area here, in fact, is very dark, and I want some texture. So let's just kind of go in and actually steal some of that, and then at least I can start to bring it kind of alive. So in other words, if I want to bring a little bit of texture into here, I'll just go in and copy some of the texture up there, and then it'll start to actually lay it in. So I don't have to have that shadow. I can start to actually copy texture from anywhere else. Just be aware that you might be ending up with some repeating patterns, so just go and kind of copy it from other locations as well, to just allow it to change its look and feel and things. So as far as the background is concerned, you can see how we pretty much went from an image that needed quite a lot of work, and within a very short period of time we fixed our background. Obviously, just go in close, I can see already here that this needs a little bit more work, so that would just be select that part, go and get some texture, does its job. A little bit more of the kind of the wrinkles just up by here, and I don't have to do it in one big patch like I'm doing. I could actually do it in a little bit of sections and just go from there. Brilliant. So that's how I would go ahead and fix a background in a very short time, ready for an instant viewing, or in the final finish, ready to go out. And that's it.